Okay, so this video we're going to show how the new batch processing works, and it is in beta, but it's working fairly well, and it is available for all our premium subscribers to use. We didn't make it available, like all the features on this system are accessible uh, for basic users, but this one, just because of the fact that it's really probably wouldn't save a whole lot of time for basic users, since you're limited to 5 requests a day. Um, we're only making this feature available to premium users. But take a look, it's pretty cool the way it works. We simply click on batch requests, create a new batch. We give it a name that might describe it. Let's say Johnson printing. Then what we do is we come to the source, the addresses, and very simple, we just cut and paste. I'm just going to select a few for this example. We just pop them in there. You don't have to remove the suites. It's probably a little bit better if you do, but you don't have to. And you simply go down and press submit. First thing it does is it puts them into a database as unverified. It hasn't done any geocoding yet, so we won't see them on a map. We press verify addresses, and we'll see that now we have parsed out the addresses into the proper fields, and if we look at the map, we will now see them all plotted out on a map. And there they are. Okay. Now, our main thing we want to do is get the telco, the NPA, the NXX, the LATA, and all that good stuff, and the carriers. So we click on Scan for Carriers, and we can see that this will run. One thing I did figure out is if you open up a separate browser, and actually you can do that by just clicking, right click here, open in a new, I'll do it in a new window. I see on my Johnson printing, and I could actually do a query here and watch it run, and it will be building in the background. So if you do want to check on the status of it, you can do that. Don't refresh the screen, just let it run. If anything, switch to another site or to another tab and go about your work and just keep coming back to it, and it will finish. But if you just can't wait to see, just go back to that other window and you can view it. Now we see it's all done. It'll do is refresh, and now we know the telco, the NPA, the NXX, and if this is always the LEC, NPA NXX, which is very important. The distance from the CO. If I wanted to see more information, like what the CO address is, and well, a few other things, you could go into it, into the details. If I wanted to add some more addresses to this list, I could just type them. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you what happens when I type a bogus address, and you know what, I'm going to put in a good one too. Okay. It's kind of a, this is, think of this as a training. Press submit. Now we see we got the bogus address and just the good other address. I'm going to verify the addresses. All done. And we see that we get an error on this one. Okay, so I can't scan for carriers for anything that's got an error, so you could go in there and basically correct it. And you could pop in an address, just as an example. I could manually correct it, and and then I could run it on that. Now right now I'm going to just do a scan for carriers. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm scanning for carriers on, and this is basically going to pull out this 1300 Dexter. All done. There we go. This one I'm going to just delete. Save a little time. And there we go. We got all our carriers. We got all the info. If we want, we can go in and scan for lit buildings. And this is, of course, very handy to search for lit buildings within a certain radius of the location. And in this case, I see a view of where it's at. I can click on the lit buildings and I see that Comcast is actually on net in that same exact building here. So that would be a good one. TW Telecom is in the area close by. So they'd probably be a good one to check with as well. And now what I would do is I'd basically just go back and I could make a note on the Kirkland location, and I could say Comcast is on net, and it would save that. And you'll see that now that shows up on the notes here. Now the other great thing is we can export the data. So we can press export and we can open up that into Excel, and we will get all the data. We get the search data, the street, the address, the zip, the telco, the NPA and XX, the carriers, the distance from the CO, and the notes that we put in, which is pretty handy. The geocoding, you only see part of it, but if you format this, you would actually see the rest of it. Forget how you do that, but you can see it's actually up in there. Yeah. Anyway, so all the data can be exported. Very nice. There you go. That is pretty much it. Yep. And if you want to manage your batches, let's say I'm back at the home screen. If I want to go in and manage my batches, I go into batch request and I can see the ones that I've entered. I can delete them. I can rename them. I can go back in and do more work on them. So very cool, very usable. You're going to look like rock stars with your customers. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. And FYI, you want to have that feature and you're a basic user, you come over here, click on upgrade account, and for a measly $79 a month, you'll have access to tons of power. And place your order, click on this link. Very, very simple. There you go. Enjoy.